Sells for $1.26 million an unlivable Lilyfield deceased estate in such bad condition that it scared buyers off has sold $110,000 above reserve. The single-level 3-bedroom Victorian workers' cottage on a level 180 SQM block with rear lane access at 239 Lilyfield Road sold for $1.26 million. Thomas Skelly of Saville's Cordeaux Marshall Gordon, who had 10 pre-auction offers between $800,000 and $1.1 million, said he and the beneficiaries were ecstatic, especially since the house was in such poor condition. People were too scared of the work needed, but the potential is enormous, he said. If you build up, you will have water views. The house was split in two, for 2 sets of rental, and is close to the Bay Run, West Connex and not far from Leichhardt. Mainly locals wanted it because they can see the potential. Some families were overwhelmed, but any smart person can see it's a freestanding brick home on sandstone, level with 2-street access. Auctioneer Craig Marshall had 10 registered bidders, taking a bold first bid of $1 million from the eventual new owner, a 40-year-old local woman who intends to renovate. Bidding went up in $50,000, $20,000, and $10,000 increments, with almost all parties bidding. Young families, investors, and builders had all been keen. Meanwhile, 19 groups registered for a 1-bedroom apartment in Summerhill with a guide of $600,000 to $670,000. The quiet, top-floor, 8.5 SQM unit with parking at 8/6-8 Gower Street sold $45,000 above reserve for $745,000. A swarm of young first-home buyers had their hopes crushed by 45-year-old investor, Michael Eagleton, a Sydney man working in the Riverina town of Temora as a sonographer and radiographer. Mr. Eagleton, who will rent it out initially and move in later down the track, was bidding by phone with the help of a friend who attended the auction. I've been driving up to Sydney every weekend to inspect properties, and I didn't want to drive the exhausting 4.5 hours again, so I'm lucky to have a good friend to bid for me, he said. I thought the price was very good. I saw a place at Dulwich Hill with no parking that went for $900,000, so I've done well. 3 of the 4 active bidders were first-home buyers from the Inner West, including Strathfield couple Kate O'Carrigan, 26, and Ari Nicola, 27. They opened the bidding with a bold figure of $680,000, attempting to knock out competition early, with friend, L.J. Hooker Concord agent Ben Horwood, bidding on their behalf. We used Ben to put our best foot forward, Ms. O'Carrigan said. The price was fairly reasonable but over our budget. Mr. Nicola said they were determined to buy local. As we grew up in the Inner West, it would be difficult to venture out of the area, he said. Mark Kapterian of Richardson and Wrench Willoughby, who had 2 pre-auction offers of $610,000 and $630,000, said it was a stellar result. First home buyers are out in force, but there's not much stock in the $600,000 to $800,000 range, he said. A Glebe Rough Gem offered for the first time in over 90 years also had a pre-auction offer rejected. The 3-bedroom Federation Terrace with no parking at 1 Dargan St sold at auction for $1,666,000 through Ray White Glebe.